verse 14, as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up. Now, this right here in the middle of John chapter 3, when you read it, normally you think, what's that about? Why is Moses and a serpent being lifted up interjected right here in the middle of John chapter 3? What in the world? But remember who Jesus is talking to. He's talking to Nicodemus, who is a ruler of the Jews. He knows his Old Testament. He knows his Old Testament. And so when he says, as Moses lifted up a serpent in the wilderness, Nicodemus knows exactly what Jesus is talking about. He knows the story. And the story is this. The Israelites, as they were prone to do, rebelled against God. And he sent snakes to bite them, and they were dying from the snake bites. And Moses prayed, as Moses did, for the people. And God said, okay, make a brass serpent, put it on a pole, put it in the middle of the field, and anybody who looks at this brass serpent will be healed. By the way, do you know the sign for the medical field in our day? You know where they say it came from? Some god of blah, 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 blah. It sure sounds a lot like Moses' serpent on a pole that brought healing. That's what it sounds like. All right. So, what brought them healing from the snake bite was not a salve, it was not rest, it was not sucking out the venom, it was not taking care of it themselves. They couldn't take care of the healing. They had to admit that they couldn't do it themselves. They were in trouble. They had to say, okay, God said to look at the brass serpent. And even though it doesn't make any sense that looking at a serpent would heal my wound, that's what God said. And so they look at the brass serpent and they're healed. Now, back to John 3. As Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so the Son of Man must be lifted up, so that whoever believes in him will have eternal life. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish, but have eternal life. You see, the Son of Man was put on a pole, and the whole world had a problem. That sin was going to cause spiritual death for everyone. And they couldn't clean it up themselves. They couldn't take care of it. They couldn't remedy their condition. But God said, look at the one who's been lifted up on the pole. Look to him for healing. Believe in him, and you'll not perish. You'll have eternal life. I just love if you understand the picture that's from Moses' time, it's just beautiful. I love it.